back to the channel. I thought I'd give you an update on stuff, like with the bike for example. We're just waiting on parts, plus we need to raise funds, hence why I'm about to show you guys what I sort of do to raise funds. So I'll just give you guys an example. So what I do is, we've got wheels that I restore. So I don't know, this was one that I'd sort of done, I've already sanded it, but I was trying out an idea with gloss black and blue stripe. These were going to go onto the BMW, but I need to raise funds to get the bike built. So the idea is that we've got to get them all cleaned up. I've already started sanding this one, but just in some of the areas that I want to get a brush into, just so I can get the crap out. This is what it sort of looks like to start off with. So that's one I've been already working on. Still little areas and crevices I want to get crap out of. So I guess I will show you guys sort of what I do there. Anyway, so the bike is temporarily on hold, as I've got to wait for parts and I need to raise funds. So I've got these BMW MSport wheels, plus I've got a set of 5 D8 XR8 18's as well. So I've got a set of 5 of those. So those ones will get sold. These ones will, well, all of them will get restored. I'm just going to put this back to stock. I've got the decals for them as well. Little decals going in here for the M badge, MSport badge. All right, cool. All right. So that's the cleaning process done. As you can see, it's over. Looks a lot cleaner. So it gives me a better starting point to work from. They're all clean. I've got to hose them off to get all the rest of the crap off. And then I'm back to sanding these suckers, and then primer and paint and clear. So yeah, get these ones done, and then I'll be on to these ones. That's just my 17-inch spare, so don't worry about that. But that's the 18. All right. Now the fun part of restoring wheels is things like you got to get all the sticky crap left over from weights when they get balanced. All this crap. One of these wheels has like maybe 4 or 5 where they've replaced weights but just haven't taken the old stuff off. Now those weights are gone, I can just get stuck into actually sanding the wheel. I just want to point something out here, people. Like, sometimes people, when they're restoring wheels, they get a bit lazy. What you really need to do is to make sure that when you are restoring wheels that you get all of this off. That's old tyre that's been, you know, heat cycled onto the rim. And if you don't get rid of all this stuff, I've seen so many people do it, they just sort of sand it down and then they paint over it. You're going to end up, you know, it's going to peel off at some point and you're going to lose seal and it's going to let the air down. So people, make sure you do things like properly. Otherwise you're going to end up with a headache later on. Don't worry people, I only take you for a ride on just one wheel instead of boring you with all four wheels. Right, so this wheel is sort of up to its next phase. Now, if you guys remember that this wheel was the one that was in the middle, the really bad looking, looking pretty clean and all good. So next step for both of these two now, they're both at the next phase. I'll probably hit them with some 240 and then I'll put down primer and smooth them out and get going from there. Fun. But yeah, when I'm finished with these, like when I do a wheel, I do the whole wheel, like, you know, everything. I'm a bit OCD like that. Yeah, people had previously painted these and they've done horrendous work. Must have had heaps of impurities in it. I don't know how well it'll come up on camera, but there's all these cracks in the paint. So, you know, it's got to be worked. Got to get it all out so I can smooth it all out so that these can look brilliant again. Yeah, fun times. Let's let this flash off for a bit and then I'll rotate it so I can get the other bits. Right. I'll just primer down mostly. And this is how I make money, people. This is how I'm actually, being on a pension, you don't get paid a lot, so I buy stuff cheap, fix it so it's all brand new again, and then sell them. It's the only way that I can really make money. And since I've got a knack for doing stuff, it'd be pretty foolish for me not to do it, really. Alright, so we'll let this properly flash off now, and I should be able to start putting paint down. And I'll smooth everything in as I go. I know there's better ways of doing this, but that's how I'm doing it at the moment. Alright, so that's the first coat. Got to let that flash off a bit so that I can touch it before I can roll it to get the other bits. So this is what's called a dry coat. You don't go in heavy or anything like that. It's just your first pass. You know, you got to do more passes after this. So after I've rotated the wheel and got the other bits, then I'll let it properly flash off, and then I'll go in with more paint. Let that flash off, check it over, make sure it's all smooth, and then go in with the clear. So just people get an idea of how these things are sort of starting out as. I don't know if it really shows up on camera that much, but yeah, it's a bit rough. I'll have a look at one in the shade. No, they're damn good condition wheels. I mean, there's no chunks taken out of them, so that's a bonus. It's just all the clear coat and the original paint just coming off. So I've already painted these once before, so these have been sanded, getting them ready. I had them on a BA Falcon, done up, so it looked alright. So yeah, unfortunately I've got to sell these ones. I was going to hold on to them for another car, but I need the cash. Alright, that's most of it done. And you can see it's all nice and silver. Get in there a bit. So, yeah, not too shabby. So there are some areas that are going to have to be sanded, but very, very few. So it's coming out pretty good. Alright, I'm going to go on to some clear. And just like paint, your first coat doesn't have to be heavy. It's called a dry coat. Now, something that I've always found interesting is the way clear coat changes stuff. Like, you see how silver it is, almost like a chrome, but you start it just changes it. I don't know how well that comes up on camera, but Thought that was kind of interesting. I know it may look like I'm spraying a lot, the wind's blowing a lot of it away, so. So that's the first pass. Already looking like a brand new wheel. I got OCD, so that's nowhere near finished for me. And I know I'm not doing these for me, but yeah, I still put in the same effort no matter what. I guess that's OCD for you. I think it's pretty safe to say, people, this wheel is looking pretty dang good. So, you know, it's in the light, I think, but I mean, into a better position. I mean, it looks like a new wheel. And you know, it's still not finished, of course, there's still more to do. This is part of my 2-stage system. So while I'm sanding, I use both the stump and the logs. But when I come up to doing paint, only one wheel at a time gets used on the system. So it goes on here, so that I can get around all the outside bits because I've got OCD. I put wax paper, you know, baking paper, whatever, you know, the wax stuff. I put that down on there so that nothing sticks to the inside of there. Otherwise, I have to do that part again, and that'll annoy me. Alright, so yeah, so when it goes onto the stump, that's when I get the rest of like the outside parts, and if there's anything that, you know, I want to fix up on the top or anything like that, on the outer edge. But yeah, so this has now got to wait until I'll pick this up again tomorrow, because I've got to wait for all that to set. But otherwise, it is freaking schmick. So shiny. On second thought, I might be able to get that done. Just all depends. I think it's probably around the 2 o'clock mark, I think. I'm not too sure, but I've got to head out later, so kind of time restricted. But if this can set enough, then I might be able to get onto doing the outer edge. Probably going to where the tyre covers everything, so even though people can't see it, but you know. Excuse me. Alright, okay, yeah, everyone, it's next day. I decided to go on with the BMW wheels. I just figured, you know, there's no point taking you guys through, you know, every single wheel. I'll just do the main wheels, you know, do a wheel at each, and then you guys can see what they look like when they're done. Alright, so this is how this one's sort of looking. So there's the XR wheel there. Just see curing. Alright, so we'll get on to this one. Alright, so I got it all sanded smooth now to where I'm happy with it. Next is to put on the primer and also the base or paint. Kudos! Alright, so we got the surface all prep soled and all the stuff is off of it. Now it's just a matter of getting the primer down, just like we did with the other wheel. Alright, so in my rush to get things done, because other stuff I've got to do as well, I didn't get all the water out. I don't know if you can see it very well. You might be able to. Probably better than I can because we've got the sun reflecting off the screen. And yeah, a couple of impurities that I have to fix up. And considering these are the Beamer wheels, well, they've got to be done right. Alright, fun times. So, OCD, I wasn't happy with it. I am pretty happy with it now. So I've got it up to 600 grit. But yeah, it's a BMW, I want this to be perfect. So I hope whoever buys these wheels too, both sets, whoever buys each set, sees the videos and just sees the kind of extent that I actually go to make these things perfect. Right, I'll have to pick this up again in the morning. Right, folks. Alright, now we're going on to the silver. Going on to the paint. So this is just its first coat. I've still got to turn the wheel around so I can get the bottom, the part that's down there. Otherwise, already looking like a new wheel. Alright, I've got to let that flash off now. So, not flash off, but I'll let it dry so I can turn the wheel without getting paint all over my hands. So that's paint work pretty much done. Yeah, all painted. Alright, gonna go on with the glare now. Alright, so that's its first coat of clear. Being in the elements and construction and stuff going on, I'm going to have to sand it smooth because it's got a lot of furry bits. But that's something that's easily fixed, so that's not too big of a deal. Yeah. So we'll let this flash off and then we'll go on with another coat and then it'll get put onto the stump so I can finish off the sides. I think that looks pretty dang good. And considering I'm using spray cans and not my spray guns, which is freaking tedious, but you get there in the end. It's all looking nice in there. There we go. Alright. Okay, up to the last bit of it, where I'll get all the sides and just make sure everything's nice. Anyway, goods. Alright, so we're on the home stretch with the wheel. Just got to do clear and put the decal on, and then yeah, it'll be finished and ready to be boxed up. Well, not ready to be boxed up, but it's got to be sanded and then sort of buffed by hand. But anyway, here we go. Alright, I consider that to be done. So all that's left to do now is for it to dry and set, and then also for the M badge to go back in its place and the center cap to go in as well. But you know, I want this to set more, and then yeah, next thing you'll see is the decal on, and you know, when it's dried enough. But yeah, oh, cool. I'll get the basket. Home, the logs. New center caps as well. The other ones were a bit tired. Clear coat still got that, but it's just so that you guys can sort of see how it is. Out of the sun. Pretty chuffed. Well, this is something I wanted to do ages ago, but to put it onto my car. But yeah, unfortunately, hard times means these have got to be sold. So that's all done. Next video, hopefully I'll be able to do more to the bike. Yeah, it's just a matter of getting funds and getting parts and things like that. Next thing I want to do is, you know, get the tail bits out of it and get the wheel off, all that jazz. Try and get everything sort of ready so I can get it painted, and yeah, but I've got to get it painted. That's where all these come in. So as I said, I wasn't going to bore you guys with doing all the wheels on camera, so I just thought I'd do, you know, 2 of them so you guys can see, or 1 of each set so you guys can see how they look. So yeah, alright, what's this? Alright, I'll catch you guys up on the next one. Alright, see ya.